Welcome back to Midcap Radar. Well, now on to the big CNBC-TV18 exclusive. In a rare interview, BK Goenka, the chairman of Welspun World, tells Nigel that he expects Welspun's B2C India revenue to grow 6 times in the next 5 years. He adds that India is set to play a bigger role in global home textiles market. Let's listen in to a few experts from that conversation.
Well, Mr. Goenka, as we get into the end of any calendar year, the big question is, what is the recovery in the United States? And you get some sound bites coming in from Costco as well as from Walmart. They are indicating that things are on the mend and demand is strong. The US market is very important for you. I think out of every 4 towels that are sold, 1 comes in from Welspun, and every 7 bedsheets that are sold, 1 comes in from Welspun. So you'll have a proper sense about demand out there. Are you seeing signs of demand recovery?
Well, US is very important market, as you said, very, very important for us. And is the largest market in the world for the home, for anything that matters. I think, and when we see the current demand, I think you can see around here, we are fully running 100% at 100% capacity. So the US market is looking good in times to come.
So it's good news then that the US demand is strong. Also, everyone's been talking about the China plus one. And Bangladesh as well has got into a lot of political instability of the recent past. How big an opportunity it is. We'll come back to the B2C business here in India, but as of now on the global stage, India has a big role to play.
So India is already playing a big role, particularly when we talk of home textiles.
Right.
I think we have already a major market share. When we talk about US, it's 50% market share. In US is from India.
Yeah.
Out of that, we are 25% market share. So China plus one story is definitely there. But when you talk about home textile, I think we have a much better and a stronger presence as a country, as a company.
For Welspun Living, how big can the B2C domestic part of the business become?
So as you know, Indian market, particularly when we talk about home market, is growing at a rate of more than 15%.
Yeah.
And post GST, when we see the whole consolidation happening, everybody's aligned, I think we are seeing a huge advantage for a company like us.
Yeah.
And I can say today, we are growing at a rate of more than 20% per annum in the domestic market. And we have a clear-cut target to become, like you said, every 4 towels sold is sold by Welspun. Same way, 25% of the market share in India. In next 3 years, we are trying to capture it.
So what would that mean in terms of a revenue number for the B2C part of the business?
So currently we have around 600 crores of domestic market under the brand of Spaces as well as Welspun.
Yeah.
And I think that is growing at a rate of 20% CAGR. So in a 3 years time, it will become double. And I think in the 5 years time, it will become 6 times from here.
All right, 6 times from here. So it'll be more than a 3,000 crore business in 5 years from now. The other smaller part that is housed under Welspun Living itself is the flooring business. Now that's going at a run rate of around 800 to around 1,000 crores on an annual basis. How do you see that business shaping up? Because there is a big push as well for the flooring segment.
So it's a new product for the market. Initially, we had some struggling. I think it's settling down.
Okay.
And we are seeing a good potential in times to come. We are growing at a rate of 10 to 12% there.
Yeah.
As you said rightly, we are doing around 1,000 crores. But mostly it is coming out of the export. And domestic market, we are still at a very small overall small percentage of the whole revenue. But I think in time to come, that will grow.
Any numbers you want to give us?
Currently is only 15% domestically, 15 to 20%. That can go to 40% overall in time to come with the overall export and domestic mix.
And do you think at some point of time, since the flooring business has huge potential, will you look at carving out one of these businesses and maybe listing it separately?
It coming within the same textile part of it. At this stage, it's difficult to answer that question. But whatever is good for the, creating shareholder value, we'll take those calls.
Welspun Living at a capacity utilization level, what are you functioning at? And when is the next stage of capacity addition that you're going to announce?
So we are running around 85% plus right now. Overall home textile as a group.
Yeah.
And we already announced about the expansion of towels. We are adding the new range of towels for the beach, for the kitchen, the whole range, where we are going to invest around 400 crores in going to be commissioned by early next year. That will be adding another, capacity by 15%.
Okay, all right. And also, another quick question is the promoter entity, they went and sold a small block in the recent past. I think the holding was little over 70%, it came down a little bit. Any further plans to divest some stake? And what was the reasoning that you all sold that?
I mean, primarily, as you know, we are holding 70% plus, and it is also part of the liquidity to create the right kind of liquidity in the market. And whatever the need for our own expansion plan in our different areas, I think that was a need. And we already said that next year or so, we are not going to further divest in our stake.
Well, do catch the full conversation with BK Goenka at 4:30 p.m. today, only on CNBC TV18. But with that, it's all the time we have on this edition of Midcap Radar. Your stocks when we return.